Hi, welcome back to Engine Shop Joe. Today we're going to look at an ISX15 CM2350. It's in a dump truck. It's a 5-axle dump, and he hauls heavy. And the truck runs good. The trucks that haul heavy really don't have a lot of after treatment problems. This has a UL2 system. It's a newer truck, so it doesn't have a lot of problems at all. And the driver noticed that he had a check engine light on, but it was running okay. So he does his thing, and then he brings the truck in for a service. And when he comes in, we find these faults. Well, let's take a look. So here, if we look, we've got fault code 1145 active. There's 6 counts, and that is injector solenoid driver cylinder 6, mechanical system not responding or out of adjustment. So when the injector is fired, there's a high-powered solenoid up on top, and the ECM measures not only what it takes to fire it, but it measures an inductive kickback. And if the pieces inside the injector don't behave properly, there's a tiny little ball underneath that gets lifted up 10 thousandths. Yeah, 10 thousandths of an inch, and that fires the injector. If that ball doesn't drop right back down into its seat where it belongs, then you get a different inductive kickback to the ECM because it changes the magnetic field inside of the coil. And then the ECM will know that something's not right, and you'll log this fault, so mechanical system is not responding or out of adjustment. And it's talking about that little ball that stops and starts injection. And as soon as the ball lifts off the seat, injection starts. And as soon as that magnet lets it go, the pressure drives it right back onto the seat and injection stops. Crisp start, crisp stop. But sometimes things go wrong, right? So if we look, the very first time this fault happened was 445 hours ago, and the last time it happened was 45 hours ago. Now the thing is this, it could have happened once for 1 minute, and then things straightened out, and it was fine for 3 days. And then it happened again, but it was 15 minutes. And then it was fine for 5 days. And then it happened again. At this time, it was only fine for 2 days. And then the next time it was 1 day. And then it did it one more time. And then the next time it happened, it stayed active because whatever was going wrong is bad enough now that it is not firing correctly. So to the driver and to my ear, it's running okay. Now I can't hear it running under load, but I can hear it running in shop. You throttle it up, it sounds okay. There's no dead miss, nothing like that. So how could we tell if we need to change that injector or not? Because the injector's like $1,500. So do I need to put that in? Can I clear the fault and try something else? How do I know there's a problem? Let's take a look. So we're going to go into my favorite place, which is the after treatment regen history. And we're going to look and kind of count hours back. So let's start at the bottom, which is the oldest regen from current. And we've got 102, 102, 101, 107, 104 in the green rectangle on the left. And if you look to the right, look at our restriction numbers. 1.9, 1.8, 2, 2.1, 2.0, 2, and we got 100 hours between regen. So this thing's doing a great job. No problems. The temperatures coming out of the particulate filter are about less than 50 degrees different than what's going in to the filter. Some are even way closer, like under 30 or under 20. So we're doing good. Now we get up, go back to the left to the brown rectangle. And all of a sudden we've jumped down to 49 hours between regens, 31 between regens, 33 between regens, 85. And before that, we were like clockwork, right on the money. What happened? Well, if you add those hours up, 85, 110, 140, about 200 hours over there. And the last one was 85 hours ago from current, so 285 hours, almost 300 hours. And now let's go over and look on the right. Our diesel particulate filter pressure in the right brown rectangle, all of a sudden it jumps from 2.1 to 3.3. That's a crazy jump, huge. Then 2.9, 3.1, 3.5, that's the highest it's ever been. So something's going on. Let's jump one column to the left and look at our temperatures. We've got on the top one line 1116.7 going in, 1144 coming out. And that's hot, 1116 going in. If you look, it's one of the hottest that we've had. Now remember, this is driving and the engine decides it needs a regen, and that's the temperature going into the filter. So you've got the system dosing fuel, and in this case, number 6 injector is smoking. And so that smoke becomes more fuel being dosed through the catalyst, and the temperatures crank up, and then it's filling the filter with soot. And that's why our differential pressure is higher. If we look at our diesel particulate filter outlet temperature, it's 1144. Drop down one line, we've got 1066 going in, 1128 coming out. That's about 60 degrees hotter. The next one down, you're about 50 degrees. The next one down, you're about 50 degrees. Then we get back into the green and we're about 60 degrees. And then you go down one and you're at about 20 degrees. Go down one, we're minus 2 degrees. So as we go up, you can see when that injector starts having problems that our differential pressure goes way up because we started smoking on that one cylinder. Now you might go, well, how come the 2.1 in the green rectangle on the right, that was at 60 degrees? Well, that injector started having problems before the ECM flagged it. The ECM doesn't just flag something right away. It has to, depending on what the fault is, of course, it has to watch it. It has to accumulate data. It looks at a lot of different things, and then it'll decide to log the fault. So in this case, our after treatment history proved to us that we do need to replace that injector, that number 6 injector. There was no calibration updates that affected the fault that we had, and the truck runs on a good duty cycle. It works hard. It doesn't idle all that much. So we replaced that injector, and everything went back to normal, and we started regenning at about 102 hours again. So this was a good repair. Thanks for joining me on Engine Shop Joe.